Burn the to-do list. Why life isn't about checking boxes. Written and published by MSE Boost. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Control. When searching for order and structure, we often find ourselves clinging to the comfort of to-do lists, meticulously planning every aspect of our lives. We believe that by organizing our tasks and goals into neat little boxes, we can somehow control the chaos that surrounds us. However, this illusion of control is just that, an illusion. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when we least expect them. No matter how carefully we plan, there will always be unforeseen circumstances that derail our best-laid plans. The truth is, we can never truly control every aspect of our lives, no matter how hard we try. When we become overly attached to our to-do lists, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. We place our happiness and sense of accomplishment on the completion of arbitrary tasks, rather than on the actual quality of our lives. We become slaves to our own self-imposed deadlines and expectations, leaving little room for spontaneity and joy. Moreover, the constant pressure to tick off items on our to-do lists can lead to immense stress and anxiety. We become so focused on getting things done that we forget to enjoy the present moment. We rush through our days, always thinking about the next task, the next goal, the next achievement. In the process, we miss out on the beauty and richness of life that is happening right in front of us. The reality is that life is unpredictable, and our attempts to control it are futile. Instead of trying to force our lives into predefined boxes, we need to learn to embrace the uncertainty and ride the waves of change. This doesn't mean that we shouldn't have goals or aspirations. It simply means that we should approach them with flexibility and openness. When we let go of the need to control every outcome, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. We become more adaptable and resilient in the face of challenges, knowing that we have the inner strength to handle whatever comes our way. We learn to trust in the journey, even when the path is unclear. This shift in mindset can be challenging, especially if we've been conditioned to believe that success and happiness are tied to our ability to check off boxes. But the rewards of letting go of control are immeasurable. We experience a greater sense of freedom, creativity, and authenticity. We become more present and engaged in our lives, savoring the moments that truly matter. The illusion of control is a trap that keeps us locked in a cycle of stress and dissatisfaction. By learning to let go of our rigid attachment to to-do lists and embracing the unpredictable nature of life, we open ourselves up to a world of possibility and growth. We discover that true fulfillment comes not from checking boxes, but from living fully and authentically in each moment. Life is messy, chaotic, and beautiful, and no amount of planning can change that. When we release our grip on control and learn to flow with the current of life, we unlock a sense of peace and contentment that no to-do list can ever provide. The key is to approach each day with curiosity, openness, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Chapter 2. Embracing Serendipity. When we let go of the rigidity of to-do lists and open ourselves up to the unexpected, we create space for serendipity to work its magic in our lives. Serendipity is the delightful phenomenon of stumbling upon good fortune or happy accidents when we least expect them. It's the chance encounter that leads to a life-changing opportunity, or the unexpected detour that reveals a breathtaking view. Too often, we're so focused on sticking to our plans and achieving our goals that we fail to recognize the potential for serendipity in our lives. We rush from one task to the next, barely taking the time to look up and notice the world around us. But when we learn to embrace serendipity, we open ourselves up to a whole new realm of possibilities. Serendipity thrives in the spaces between our plans. It's the unscheduled moments, the chance encounters, and the unexpected detours that often lead to the most meaningful experiences and opportunities. When we're not so fixated on following a predetermined path, we're more likely to notice the synchronicities and coincidences that are constantly unfolding around us. Embracing serendipity doesn't mean abandoning all structure and planning in our lives. Rather, It's about cultivating a mindset of openness and curiosity, and being willing to deviate from our plans when an exciting opportunity presents itself. It's about trusting that the universe has a way of guiding us towards the people, places, and experiences that we need in order to grow and thrive. To cultivate a serendipity mindset, start by paying attention to the world around you. Notice the people you encounter, the conversations you have, and the opportunities that cross your path. Be curious and open to new experiences, even if they don't fit neatly into your pre-existing plans. Trust your instincts and follow your heart when something feels right, even if it doesn't make logical sense. Serendipity also thrives in environments where we feel relaxed, playful, and open to new ideas. When we're in a state of flow, fully engaged in an activity that we enjoy, we're more likely to have those aha moments of insight and inspiration. So make time for activities that bring you joy and allow you to lose yourself in the moment, whether it's painting, hiking, or simply having a heartfelt conversation with a friend. Another way to invite serendipity into your life is to cultivate a diverse network of connections and experiences. The more varied your interests and social circles, the more likely you are to encounter unexpected opportunities and insights. Attend events and gatherings that are outside your usual comfort zone, and strike up conversations with people from different backgrounds and fields of expertise. You never know where a chance encounter might lead. Of course, embracing serendipity also means being willing to take risks and step outside your comfort zone. It means saying yes to opportunities that excite you, even if they feel scary or uncertain. It means being willing to let go of your preconceived notions of how things should be, and trusting that the universe has a plan for you that's even better than anything you could have imagined. Ultimately, embracing serendipity is about cultivating a sense of wonder and appreciation for the magic of life. It's about recognizing that the greatest joys and most meaningful experiences often come from the unexpected twists and turns along the way. When we let go of our need for control and allow ourselves to be guided by curiosity and intuition, we open ourselves up to a world of limitless possibility. Life is full of surprises, and serendipity is the delightful reminder that the best things in life often come when we least expect them. By cultivating a mindset of openness and curiosity, and being willing to embrace the unexpected, we invite more joy, meaning, and magic into our lives. So burn the to-do list, and let serendipity be your guide. Chapter 3. The Joy of Presence. We often find ourselves constantly looking ahead, planning for the future, and ticking off items on our never-ending to-do lists. While having goals and aspirations is important, this relentless focus on the future can cause us to miss out on the joy and beauty of the present moment. When we're caught up in the whirlwind of our daily tasks and responsibilities, it's easy to operate on autopilot, going through the motions without truly engaging with the world around us. We eat our meals without savoring the flavors. We have conversations without really listening. And we rush through our days without pausing to appreciate the simple pleasures that life has to offer. But what if we chose to approach life differently? What if, instead of constantly striving for the next achievement or milestone, we made a conscious effort to be fully present in each moment? This is where the true magic of life happens, in the here and now. The practice of presence, or mindfulness, has gained significant popularity in recent years, and for good reason. When we learn to be fully present, we experience life with greater clarity, depth, and richness. We notice the small details that we might have otherwise overlooked: the way the sunlight filters through the leaves, the sound of laughter from a nearby playground, the warmth of a loved one's embrace. Practicing presence doesn't require any special skills or equipment. It simply involves bringing our full attention to the present moment, without judgment or distraction. This can be challenging in a world filled with constant stimuli and demands on our attention. But with practice, it becomes easier and more natural. To cultivate presence in your daily life, start by setting aside dedicated time each day to practice mindfulness. This could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths before starting your morning routine, or spending a few minutes in quiet meditation. The key is to focus your attention on the present moment, noticing any thoughts or sensations that arise without getting caught up in them. As you go about your day, make a conscious effort to bring your full attention to each task or interaction. When you're having a conversation with someone, really listen to what they're saying, without thinking ahead to your own response. When you're eating a meal, take the time to savor each bite, noticing the textures and flavors. When you're walking outside, pay attention to the sights, sounds, and smells around you. The beauty of presence is that it can be practiced in any moment, no matter how mundane or seemingly insignificant. Even the most ordinary tasks, like washing dishes or folding laundry, can become opportunities for mindfulness and joy when approached with full attention and presence. Of course, practicing presence doesn't mean that we never think about the future or reflect on the past. These mental activities are important for learning, growth, and planning. However, when we're able to anchor ourselves in the present moment, we gain a greater sense of perspective and clarity. We're better able to respond to challenges and opportunities as they arise, rather than getting caught up in worry or regret. Ultimately, the joy of presence is about reclaiming our lives from the tyranny of the to-do list and the constant pressure to achieve and accomplish. It's about recognizing that life is happening right now, in this very moment, and that each moment is a precious gift to be savored and appreciated. By learning to be fully present, we open ourselves up to a world of wonder, beauty, and connection. We experience life with greater depth and meaning, and we cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment that no external achievement can match. So burn that to-do list and embrace the joy of presence. Your life will never be the same. Chapter 4. Redefining Success. Success is a concept that has long been tied to external achievements and milestones. From a young age, we're taught to strive for good grades, prestigious degrees, high-paying jobs, and impressive titles. We're told that these are the markers of a successful life, and that our worth and value are determined by how well we measure up to these standards. But what if this narrow definition of success is actually holding us back from living truly fulfilling lives? What if, by constantly chasing after societally defined notions of success, we're missing out on what really matters to us as individuals? The truth is, success is a highly personal and subjective concept. What feels like success to one person may look very different to another. Some may find fulfillment in climbing the corporate ladder, while others may feel most alive when pursuing creative passions or spending time with loved ones. The problem with allowing external markers of success to dictate our lives is that it puts our happiness and self-worth in the hands of others. We become dependent on validation and approval from outside sources, rather than cultivating a sense of inner contentment and purpose. Moreover, when we tie our identity and value to our achievements, we set ourselves up for constant stress and anxiety. We live in fear of falling short, of not measuring up, of being seen as a failure. This can lead to burnout, depression, and a general sense of disconnection from our authentic selves. So how can we redefine success in a way that aligns with our deepest values and desires? The first step is to get clear on what truly matters to us. This requires a willingness to look beyond societal expectations and pressures, and to tune into our own inner wisdom and guidance. Take some time to reflect on what brings you joy. What makes you feel alive and fulfilled? What are the activities, relationships, and experiences that light you up and make you feel like your best self? These are the building blocks of your personalized definition of success. Next, consider how you want to feel on a daily basis. Do you want to feel inspired, creative, and purposeful? Do you want to feel connected, loved, and supported? Do you want to feel healthy, energized, and at peace? These desired feeling states can serve as a compass, guiding you towards the pursuits and experiences that align with your authentic self. From there, start setting goals and intentions that reflect your unique vision of success. These goals may look very different from the ones you've been taught to strive for, and that's okay. The key is to choose pursuits that feel meaningful and fulfilling to you, rather than simply checking off boxes on a predetermined list. As you work towards your redefined vision of success, be mindful of the metrics you use to measure your progress. Rather than focusing solely on external outcomes, consider the internal shifts and growth you're experiencing. Are you feeling more aligned with your values and purpose? Are you experiencing more moments of joy, connection, and flow? These are the true indicators of a successful life. Of course, redefining success in this way requires a willingness to let go of old belief systems and patterns. It may mean disappointing others or going against the grain of societal norms. But the rewards of living a life that feels authentic and fulfilling are immeasurable. When we redefine success on our own terms, we reclaim our power and agency. We stop living for others' approval and start living for our own sense of purpose and meaning. We cultivate a deep sense of self-trust and inner peace, knowing that we're honoring our truest desires and values. True success is about living a life that feels authentic, meaningful, and aligned with our deepest truth. It's about cultivating joy, connection, and purpose in our daily lives, and making choices that honor our unique gifts and passions. By redefining success in this way, we open ourselves up to a world of possibility and fulfillment beyond our wildest dreams. Chapter 5. The Power of Intuition. Intuition is a powerful yet often undervalued tool. Intuition is that quiet inner voice, that gut feeling that tells us when something feels right or wrong, even if we can't quite explain why. It's the sudden flash of insight that comes to us in the shower, or the inexplicable sense of unease that warns us away from a particular situation. While intuition may seem like a mysterious or even magical force, the truth is that it's a very real and valuable form of intelligence. Our intuition is the result of our subconscious mind processing vast amounts of information and experiences, and delivering insights and guidance in the form of feelings, images, and hunches. The problem is that many of us have been conditioned to ignore or discount our intuition in favor of more rational, analytical ways of thinking. We've been taught to trust facts and figures over feelings, to make decisions based on careful analysis rather than gut instinct. As a result, we often second-guess ourselves or talk ourselves out of following our intuition, even when it's trying to steer us in the right direction. But what if we learned to trust and cultivate our intuition instead? What if we recognized it as a valuable source of wisdom and guidance, and made space for it in our daily lives and decision-making processes? Strengthening your intuition starts with learning to quiet your mind and tune into your body. Your physical sensations and emotions are often the first signs that your intuition is trying to communicate with you. Pay attention to those subtle feelings of excitement, unease, or curiosity, and start to trust them as valuable pieces of information. Meditation and mindfulness practices can be powerful tools for developing your intuition. By regularly taking time to quiet your mind and tune into your inner world, you create space for your intuition to speak to you more clearly. You may find that insights and ideas start to flow more freely, or that you feel more grounded and centered in your decision-making. Another way to cultivate your intuition is to start taking small risks and following your instincts in low-stakes situations. The more you practice trusting your intuition in small ways, the more confidence you'll build in your ability to rely on it for bigger decisions. It's also important to create an environment that supports your intuitive abilities. Surround yourself with people and experiences that inspire and uplift you, and limit your exposure to negativity and stress. Make time for activities that bring you joy and allow you to enter a state of flow, such as creative pursuits, nature walks, or engaging hobbies. As you start to strengthen your intuition, you may find that it becomes a valuable compass in navigating life's challenges and opportunities. Trusting your intuition can lead you to make choices that align with your deepest values and desires, even if they don't always make logical sense on the surface. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should ignore facts and logic altogether. Intuition is meant to be a complement to, not a replacement for, rational thinking. The key is to find a balance between the two, and to use your intuition as a valuable source of guidance and insight in conjunction with your analytical mind. Ultimately, learning to trust and cultivate your intuition is about embracing a fuller, more holistic way of being in the world. It's about recognizing that you have access to a deep well of wisdom and guidance within you, and that by tapping into that inner knowing, you can live a more authentic, fulfilling, and purposeful life. So start paying attention to those quiet whispers of intuition and see where they might lead you. You may be surprised at the doors that open and the opportunities that arise when you learn to trust and follow your inner voice. Your intuition is a powerful gift. All you have to do is learn to listen. Chapter 6. Cultivating Resilience. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when we least expect them. No matter how carefully we plan or how diligently we work towards our goals, there will always be challenges, setbacks, and unexpected detours along the way. The question is not whether we will face adversity, but how we will choose to respond to it when it inevitably arises. This is where resilience comes in. Resilience is the capacity to bounce back from difficult experiences, to adapt to change, and to keep moving forward in the face of obstacles. It's the inner strength and flexibility that allows us to weather life's storms and emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate on the other side. Cultivating resilience is not about avoiding or denying the realities of life's challenges. Rather, it's about developing the skills and mindset to meet those challenges head-on, with courage, creativity, and a willingness to learn and grow. Building resilience starts with accepting that change and uncertainty are a natural part of life. When we cling too tightly to our plans and expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration when things don't go according to plan. By learning to let go of rigid attachment to specific outcomes, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. Reframing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning is another key aspect of cultivating resilience. When we view obstacles as problems to be solved rather than insurmountable barriers, we tap into our innate creativity and resourcefulness. We start to see setbacks as temporary detours rather than dead ends, and we become more open to exploring alternative paths forward. Self-care and self-compassion are also essential components of resilience. When we're facing difficult times, it's easy to neglect our own needs and be harsh with ourselves for struggling. But by prioritizing our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, we build the inner reserves of strength and energy needed to weather life's storms. This might mean carving out time for exercise, meditation, or creative pursuits, or simply being kind and gentle with ourselves when we're feeling overwhelmed. Cultivating a strong support system is another important aspect of building resilience. When we have a network of friends, family, and mentors who believe in us and have our backs, we feel more capable of facing life's challenges. Reaching out for help and connection when we're struggling is a sign of strength, not weakness, and can provide much-needed perspective, encouragement, and practical support. Developing a growth mindset is also key to cultivating resilience. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. When we embrace a growth mindset, we see challenges as opportunities to stretch and expand our capabilities, rather than as threats to our sense of self-worth. We become more willing to take risks, try new things, and bounce back from failures and setbacks. Finally, practicing gratitude and focusing on the positive aspects of our lives can be a powerful tool for building resilience. When we take time to appreciate the good things, no matter how small, we cultivate a sense of abundance and perspective that can help us weather difficult times. We start to see challenges as temporary and surmountable, rather than as overwhelming and insurmountable. Resilience is not about being invincible or immune to life's challenges. It's about developing the inner resources and outer support systems needed to adapt, grow, and thrive in the face of adversity. By cultivating resilience, we become more capable of navigating the twists and turns of life with grace, courage, and a deep sense of trust in ourselves and the journey ahead. Like any skill, resilience can be developed and strengthened over time. By letting go of rigid plans, reframing challenges as opportunities, prioritizing self-care and self-compassion, cultivating supportive relationships, embracing a growth mindset, and practicing gratitude, we can build the inner strength and flexibility needed to weather any storm. Life may be unpredictable, but with resilience on our side, we can meet whatever comes our way with openness, creativity, and a deep sense of trust in our own innate capacity to rise above. Chapter 7. The Art of Saying No. In a culture that often equates busyness with worth and success, saying no can feel like a radical act. We're conditioned to believe that the more we do, the more valuable we are, and that turning down opportunities or requests is a sign of weakness or laziness. As a result, many of us find ourselves overcommitted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from what truly matters to us. But what if saying no was actually the key to living a more authentic, fulfilling, and purposeful life? What if, by learning to set clear boundaries and prioritize our own needs and values, we could create more space for the things that truly light us up and bring us joy? The truth is, saying no is a skill that requires practice, courage, and a deep sense of self-awareness. It's about tuning into our own inner guidance system and honoring what feels right for us, even when it goes against the expectations or desires of others. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish or uncaring. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When we're able to say no to the things that don't align with our values or serve our highest good, we free up more time, energy, and resources to say yes to the things that truly matter. We become more present, engaged, and generous in the commitments we do make, because they come from a place of authentic desire and purpose. Learning to say no starts with getting clear on our own priorities and values. What are the things that truly matter to us? What brings us joy, meaning, and fulfillment? What are the non-negotiables that we need in order to feel healthy, happy, and whole? When we have a strong sense of what's important to us, it becomes easier to identify the things that don't align and to make choices that honor our true desires. From there, it's about learning to communicate our boundaries clearly and compassionately. This might mean saying no to a social invitation that doesn't feel right, declining a work project that doesn't align with our goals, or setting limits on our time and energy in a relationship that feels draining. The key is to do so with kindness and respect, while also standing firm in our own needs and desires. Of course, saying no can be uncomfortable, especially if we're used to being people pleasers or avoiding conflict. But the more we practice setting boundaries, the more natural and empowering it becomes. We start to see that saying no to the things that don't serve us creates more space for the things that do, and that honoring our own needs and desires is not selfish, but rather an act of self-love and self-respect. There's also a deeper liberation that comes from learning to say no. When we're no longer beholden to the expectations and demands of others, we free ourselves to live life on our own terms. We become more authentic, creative, and bold in our choices and actions, because we're guided by our own inner wisdom, rather than external pressures or expectations. Of course, saying no doesn't mean never compromising or considering the needs of others. Healthy relationships and communities require give and take, and there will always be times when we choose to stretch beyond our comfort zones in service of a greater good. The key is to make those choices consciously and intentionally, rather than out of a sense of obligation or guilt. The art of saying no is about reclaiming our power and agency in a world that often tries to dictate who we should be and what we should want. It's about honoring our own unique path and purpose, and trusting that by doing so, we create more space for authentic connection, creativity, and joy to flow. Learning to say no takes practice, courage, and a willingness to disappoint others at times. But the rewards of living a life that feels authentic, purposeful, and aligned with our deepest values are immeasurable. By setting clear boundaries and honoring our own needs and desires, we become more fully ourselves, and more capable of showing up with presence, generosity, and love for the things that truly matter. And that, in the end, is what saying no is all about: creating space for a life that feels truly worth saying yes to. Chapter 8. Designing a Life of Flow. When we think about the moments in life when we feel most alive, engaged, and fulfilled, we often find that they share a common quality: a sense of flow. Flow is that state of being where we become so fully immersed in an activity that time seems to disappear. Self-consciousness fades away, and we feel a deep sense of connection, creativity, and purpose. Unfortunately, for many of us, moments of flow can feel few and far between. We get caught up in the daily grind of to-do lists, obligations, and distractions, and lose touch with the activities and experiences that truly light us up. We may even start to believe that flow is a luxury reserved for artists, athletes, or those with more free time on their hands. But what if we could design our lives in a way that made flow a more regular and accessible part of our daily experience? What if, by making small shifts in our mindset, habits, and environment, we could create more space for the activities and experiences that bring us alive? The first step in designing a life of flow is to identify the activities and experiences that trigger that state for us. What are the pursuits that make us lose track of time, that fill us with a sense of joy, curiosity, and engagement? It might be a creative hobby like painting or writing, a physical activity like running or dancing, or a social connection like deep conversation or collaborative problem solving. Once we've identified our flow triggers, the next step is to start incorporating them into our daily lives in small, manageable ways. This might mean carving out dedicated time each day for a favorite hobby, or finding ways to infuse more creativity and play into our work or relationships. The key is to start small and build momentum over time, rather than trying to overhaul our entire lives overnight. Creating an environment that supports flow is also essential. This might mean decluttering our physical space to minimize distractions, or setting boundaries around our time and energy to protect our focus and attention. It might also mean surrounding ourselves with people and experiences that inspire and energize us, rather than drain or deplete us. Cultivating a mindset of curiosity, openness, and experimentation is another key ingredient in designing a life of flow. When we approach life with a sense of wonder and possibility, we become more receptive to the opportunities and experiences that come our way. We start to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than obstacles to be avoided or overcome. Of course, designing a life of flow doesn't mean abandoning all structure or responsibility. In fact, having a sense of purpose and direction can actually enhance our experience of flow by providing a meaningful context for our pursuits and passions. The key is to find a balance between structure and spontaneity, between planning and presence. This might mean setting intentions and goals that align with our values and desires, while also leaving room for serendipity and surprise. It might mean creating rituals and routines that support our well-being and productivity, while also being willing to adapt and pivot when necessary. The goal is not to force or control the flow of life, but rather to create the conditions that allow it to emerge naturally and organically. Designing a life of flow is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing process of discovery, experimentation, and adjustment. It requires a willingness to let go of rigid expectations and attachments, and to trust in the unfolding of our own unique journey. It means embracing the messiness and uncertainty of life, while also cultivating the skills and mindset to navigate it with grace and resilience. A life of flow is about aligning our actions and choices with our deepest values and desires. It's about creating a lifestyle that allows us to express our unique gifts and passions, while also contributing to something larger than ourselves. By designing our lives around the experiences and pursuits that bring us alive, we not only enrich our own existence, but also create ripples of positive impact in the world around us. The invitation is to start small, to experiment and explore, and to trust in the wisdom of our own inner guidance. By letting go of the need to control and plan every aspect of our lives, We create space for the magic and synchronicity of flow to emerge. And in doing so, we open ourselves up to a life of greater joy, meaning, and purpose, a life that truly feels worth living.